Alright, hey guys, my name is CJ, and today I'm playing an indie horror game called Moth House. Now this is a bit of a strange game that I'm playing. Normally I don't play games like this. I don't normally play indie horror games. I don't like playing indie horror games. But I was having a look online at just like some random horror games, and on the website I was on, one of the higher rated games was this one here. And it's an interesting concept. So one thing you guys might not know about me is I don't like moths, okay? Now, that's not to say that I have a fear of moths, okay? I'm not scared of moths, I just don't like them. They irritate the shit out of me, okay? They really, really irritate me. So, when I saw this game, I downloaded it because, I thought, moth game, I don't like moths, let's see what it's about. I downloaded it more of as like a joke, but as I started playing it, it was sort of an interesting concept to me. And on the web page, the description of this game is pretty interesting. I can't remember what it says by heart, but I remember reading it thinking it was a pretty interesting idea, because basically it's a horror game. You get chased by a moth, and you have to collect moths, and there are a whole bunch of moths that you can collect, and then you got to set them free, and so on and so forth. There's a whole shebang to this thing, but I'm not going to get into it now. But I downloaded it as a joke first, and then as I started playing it, I realized, this is actually pretty cool. It's a good idea. So I'm playing this. There's also another one about moths that I had a look at. Don't know if it's by the same developer. I doubt it, but I will have a look at that one. But this one here was pretty interesting. So I'm not going to sit here speaking too much about it. I think getting into it will be the best way to explain these things. Not that there's much to explain about this game in the first place, It's a very simple indie horror game. So we got a letter here. We've got a letter to read, and it says, "Dear son, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to inform you that I am leaving far from here on an expedition. Unfortunately, I can't provide a location. I know this may come as a surprise to you, but please understand that this decision was not an easy one. If in a year you do not receive a letter from me, it means that I will not return. I hope that this will not happen, but if I still do not get in touch, then I have a request to you. In the attached letter, there's a list with species of moths. Come to my house and catch at least one of each species, and then let them out of the house. But it's better if you free them all. With all my love, your dad." Okay, so this basically sums up the whole point of the game. We need to go to our dad's house, collect moths, and then free them. Okay? So that's what we'll be doing. So let's press space to continue. So here we go. If you turn around, there's the door, but it tells you you don't need to go back. Now, I don't think you can leave until you've collected one of every moth. Okay? Now, just an important thing here, the letter said it's better if you free all of them. You don't have to, okay? It's not required for you to collect every single moth in this game and then free it. That would be horrendous, okay? All you need to do is just collect at least one of each moth, and then you can leave, and that's the game finished, okay? So this game is about, maybe I would say about 20 to 30 minutes long, if you know what you're doing, but the first time it's going to take you quite a while to find every single moth, okay? So I suppose I can get into the controls quickly. So, of course, with any game that you play nowadays, WASD moves. Use the mouse to move and everything. You can see in the bottom left corner of the screen there's a hand, and I was holding a match that went out. And as you look at the match, if you see the fire that's on the match is slowly burning down toward your fingertips. Okay. Now, you don't need to worry about this, okay? You can snuff out the match by pressing F, and you can light a new one by pressing F as well. Okay, so I'll press F, that snuffs it out. Press F again, that lights a new one, okay? Now, if the match burns down to your fingertips, you'll automatically light a new one, okay? So don't got to worry about that. Also, another thing you don't have to worry about is constantly relighting matches. You have an infinite supply of matches, so you don't need to worry about constantly lighting new matches. Okay. To be honest, these matches only provide a source of light. I think they're used, like the mechanic to turn them off. I think it's useful when you're getting chased by, like I guess the main antagonist. But to be honest, it doesn't really work for me. You know, I find that even if the match is out, it will still find me. You know. So yeah. So we're carrying forward. Also, I love this art style. It's very grainy. I love that it's just still drawn photos. You know, I love it. It looks very, very good. You know, I love the art style. It sort of reminds me of Detention a little bit. For those of you that don't know, Detention is like my favorite horror game of all time. So I did a walkthrough of that ages ago, you know, and it's still one of my most favorite horror games of all time. So I love the way these things are drawn. I love everything about this. Alright, so use control to crouch. You think you'd use C in this, but I guess control is also good. Oh yeah, you can sprint by pressing shift. You can sprint back and forth as well. So hold shift, you'll sprint backwards and forwards. It's pretty cool. Okay. Alright, so as you can see here, there's moths. Now, it doesn't tell you yet, but I'm going to tell you now anyways. So, you do have an item currently, but it's not equipped. So to equip it, just scroll the mouse wheel, and you will equip this net. Okay, and you know, you press left click, and you can collect these moths. That's all this thing is useful for, is just collecting moths. Okay, there's no combat in this game, which is an important thing to remember. Okay. So, are there any more moths? No, you got to be very, like, attentive to the walls, especially because the moths love sitting on the walls, and they like to just, like, they'll look like another one of these patterns here on the wallpaper. So, they're like hiding among the, like, on the walls, so you've got to keep a keen eye. But they're easier to spot. They're brighter than the walls in any case. Okay. Also, after I collected a moth, or some of the moths, it told me to press tab to open my backpack, so press tab, and it gives you, like, it shows you a jar with the moths you've collected, and then a list of the moths you still need to collect. So right now, I've got 15 American dagger moths, okay, and 10 leopard moths. Now, these images of the moths do help you to a certain point, but it's very difficult to look at them in game while you're playing and sort of see if it's the one you've collected. Sometimes, like with the bigger ones, you can tell, but otherwise it's near impossible to tell just by looking at the moths. So you constantly have to go into your backpack here to have a look and see if you've collected them. Okay. Also, I don't like staying in here for too long because I'm pretty sure that all these moths here that are in this little jar are every single moth that you've collected. So there could be thousands of moths in here, okay, that your computer will have to render. And whenever I've played this and I've had to open up my backpack and see what I've collected, I'd have to, like, sort of keep it open for a short time, because if I don't, my computer has to render all these moths in the jar, and it's like I can cook an egg on my CPU, you know, I can hear my fan blowing like to absolute shit. So I don't like staying in here for too long, especially when I have a lot of moths in the jar. But like I said, it's not necessary to collect every single moth, you know. That'll just take way too long. Anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, we did that already. Okay. Alright, so let's collect these. Now, for the beginning parts here, I do like to collect all of the moths. Okay. Now also, you'll notice that there's a weird-ass clicking sound like around us. So listen carefully. Is it going to play? I I think you can barely hear it. Okay. But in any case, that is basically what's going to start stalking us in a minute. Okay. And to be honest, I don't know if it's the moth that you hear flying around or if it's the actual thing that chases you. Okay. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is, because when the thing starts chasing you, it does make that type of that same clicking noise as you're hearing currently. But yeah. Alright. Let's have a look here and see if there are any more. Yeah, let's see, there we go. There are always more cheeky bastards chilling on the walls. Like right there. Gotta keep a close eye. See there we go. Again, you don't have to do this, but I like to collect all the ones at the beginning. If you miss one or two here, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But I like to collect them. You'll see why later on. Although, truth be told, for this ending that I'm going to show you... Okay, so there are 3 endings to this game. Let me just talk about it now. There are 3 endings to the game. I don't know what they're called. So the ending that I'm going to go for in this run through here is the ending where you do what your father has asked you to. The second ending, which I'm going to do in the second run through, is like... So you feed the Moth King. I know. Sounds weird, I know. But I'll get to that a bit later on. But you feed the Moth King and you appease him, basically. And then that's the one ending. And there's another ending where you don't appease him, you anger him, and yeah, I won't spoil it. But that's basically the last ending, which I will do in the third run through. I won't show you everything, I'll just show you the endings, how to get them. Okay? So, honestly, the ending that I'm going to go for in this run through, I don't need to collect every single moth. Okay? So, I'm not going to be too bothered about that. So, I'm just going to collect the ones that I find, make sure I've got the ones, got at least one of every one here, and then get out. Okay? So, as you can see there, we've got more moths. You'll find, so the top ones are pretty much the most common one. The last one you will find is the middle bottom one, which is called the white witch moth. Okay? As you progress through the game, you will start wondering, why the hell are these moths so difficult to find? Okay? You will find them toward the end of the game. Okay? So, it's all good. Okay, let's pick this up. This here is a radio, I think. Let's have a read of this. Moths emit ultrasound as a way of communicating with other moths and detecting their environment. This ultrasound is typically measured in kilohertz, with the average value of around 30 to 60 kilohertz. The moth produces the ultrasound by vibrating special organs in its body called tymbals. Interestingly, there are devices called bat detectors that can capture these ultrasounds, which can help in monitoring moth populations and their behavior. This is because bats, which are natural predators of moths, also use ultrasound to locate their prey. Okay. So we have here, I'm guessing this is a radio. Okay. Now, honestly, I don't know what this thing does. Okay. I think what it does is it helps to show you the location of like how near the main antagonist, so to speak, is like how near it is to you. But honestly, I don't ever use it, so fuck that thing. Don't need to use it. So over here, we don't. Okay, so you can go down here. This is one of the doors that leads to two of the endings to the game, but we can't go here now because it's locked. Okay, we'll find the key for it later on. So that clicking over there, that is the main antagonist. Okay. So we need to go down here. There's only other way we can go. See? So let's go ahead and collect these moths here. See, there are giant moths here. So let's just click them. You know, as you can see, you can collect the moths that fly in the air like this. It's just a bit finicky sometimes. You know, they just fly all over the place, and trying to get them is a bit like... The depth perception is a bit weird with these moths. But yeah, doesn't really matter. You can easily figure it out. But anyway, look here. So there's a TV over here and a duck or a goose on the screen. If you click it, this is what happens. Okay, that happens. Those are the only two sounds that it makes. I have no idea why this is here. I'm guessing this is a reference to another game that the developers made. Or the developer made. I'm not entirely sure. But it's just so perplexing to me why this is here. Yeah, I don't know. Also, this TV looks like a microwave. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah. Have a look here. Cool. Alright. So, yep, so, okay, so there's a pot over here that you can cook in. Right, you know, so as of this moment, we don't have any recipes. We will find recipes a bit later on. What those recipes do is it only affects the last two endings, okay? So you don't need to worry about that right now. Okay. Bloody hell. My throat's really dry. Anyway, so I'm just going to collect these moths here. Cool. Alright, so over here is a crowbar. Pick it up. Because we need to break this thing. There we go. Alright. Let me have a look here. Okay. Now, I'd say from this point on is where the game sort of starts. Okay. Now, from the moment we walk out here, basically, or from the moment the game started, really, but basically from the moment we picked up that radio, basically, this is where the main antagonist follows you, okay? Basically, what I've been referring to as the main antagonist is a giant-ass moth, okay? It's a big-ass moth that just follows you everywhere, okay? This thing is huge, okay? I don't know why this particular moth chases you, because it's not, it doesn't have any, like, significance or anything like that, so, I don't know why this moth in particular chases you, but it does, okay? And it's pretty creepy. I mean, I have, you know, gotten scared shitless when playing this before, because it caught me off guard, because for some reason... So, you don't expect it to happen, because you hear this, like, flicking in the background, this, like, clicking in the background, but you don't always know that it's that thing, and, like, there's no sound volume change, like, there's no, like, perception of sound, it just happens, and then, you know, it jump scares you, and, yeah. I was going to say you die, but, you know, you can't actually die in this game. There's no way to die in this game. Basically what happens is, when the moth catches you, you'll just respawn in the basement. So yeah, let's have a read of this. The lunar moth is a large, beautiful moth native to North America. It is named after the Roman goddess of the moon because of its pale green color and crescent-shaped markings on its wings. The lunar moth is known for its short adult lifespan of only about a week, during which it does not eat or have a mouth. The wingspan of the lunar moth can reach up to 11 centimeters, making it one of the largest moths in North America. The caterpillars of the species are also quite striking, with bright green bodies and long spiny tails. The lunar moth is primarily active at night. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Anyway, so let's carry on through here. Crouch to get through. Now, this is where the whole putting out match nonsense comes in. I wouldn't say worry too much about this. I don't ever put out my match if I need to, unless I think I'm gonna get caught. Oh my goodness! Well, there we go. There's like one death you could say, of many. So yeah, so once that happens, you basically just respawn in here. Okay, so it's not very devastating to get caught by that moth, like at all, because you'll always respawn in this place. You know, there's like no limit to how many times you can die. Well, actually, I don't know, because I haven't died that many times, but I'm pretty sure that you'll be fine. You know, you always just sort of respawn over here, and you'll still have everything. You still have all your moths and all the recipes and keys and shit that you find. So yeah. Now, I'm just gonna collect quite a few of the moths in this area, which is what I always do. But the thing is, you don't have to collect all of them. Okay. Actually, as a matter of fact, you can't collect like many of the moths in this area because you can't get to some of the walls. But you don't need to, because, like I said, it doesn't affect the game ending. Because, like I said, there are only 3 endings to the game, and if what the letter your dad said had any bearing on the endings, there would be like 4 endings. But there aren't, so it doesn't matter. And in any case, I'm pretty sure that there are like an infinite number of moths in this area. Like, I think they just respawn. But at the same time, I don't think that's the case, because I have collected almost all of them before, so I don't think they just automatically respawn. That would be kind of bullshit if that was the case. But let's go ahead and collect some of these moths here. Sometimes you will find ones that you didn't have. Some of the smaller ones I'm not going to spend too much time on. Basically just the bigger ones I'm going to try and find. So I think that's good enough. Yeah. You know, the only problem is when there's no light around you, if your match goes out, you can see fuck all, so it's always good to keep a match on. Also, by the way, that moth will almost never come down here, so unless it's chasing you, that moth will never come down here. Okay. Also, one thing I find a bit disappointing about this game is there's no map. Because the house that we're in is a bit of a maze. So I think a map would have been a good idea. But, you know, the house is pretty small, but it is sort of confusing. But again, when you play this as many times, or sorry, when you play this quite a few times, then you'll know where to go. You get the layout, like you get a feel of the layout of the house. But even now, after playing it a number of times, I still get a bit lost sometimes. And it's definitely going to happen while I'm playing this game now. Alright. This wall here. Okay, and I think that's all I'm going to collect. Let's have a look in my backpack quickly. Okay. Yeah, I keep wanting to collect like a lot of moths, but it doesn't matter because of the ending. That doesn't play a huge role in it, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. So I think that's good for now. So here we found a few other like moth species. There are a few more up here that we can find. Now I usually like collecting every moth that are on these walls here. I don't know why, it's just how I play this game. There's always like 1 or 2 that just sort of scattered about. Anyway, let's get these ones here. It's good to sort of get an area swipe going because because then you can collect a whole bunch in one go, just like that. And I think that's good enough. Yeah. Okay. So this here... Okay, so this here is... So... this, I think, is where we came from. Yeah. So down there is the place where we started. So I think when we came through here, this... Yeah. This was locked. So it didn't really matter. Okay. Now... Okay, we're back here. Cool, I know where I am now. Alright, so I'm going to go this way. Into this bathroom here. And I'm going to close this door. And collect these moths that are over here. These are... the bottom left moths. The... How does it say? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Creatinotus gangus moth. Creatinitus gangus moth. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. In any case, that's what these are. Okay. Oh, there's more up here. I didn't even notice that. Anyway. Let's go out. So, this is where we need to go. But it's locked, okay? This is... Well, this isn't where we need to go. This is actually one of the areas... This here leads to the ending. Sorry. I was confused in the beginning. Basically, down whichever way it was that I just came from. I think it was this way. That place where I said that is where you need to go for 2 of the endings. It's actually down here. Yeah, you see, it's very confusing, but it's down here. Okay. Now, here is where you'll meet the Moth King. Now, the Moth King is a gigantic moth. Okay. And when you open this door, you know, for those 2 endings, it's basically... That's where you need to make sure you have as many moths as possible. Okay. But I'll talk about that when I get to that ending. For now, we'll just carry on and try not to die. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Every time I hear that sound, I get paranoid. You know, even though I know, like, there's no death involved in it catching you, it's still pretty creepy. Like, I don't want it to happen. Because I can fucking hear it. Thing is, this thing is fast and it will chase you. What is this? Recipe? Give me that. Okay, so I just find a recipe. Let me just find someplace safe to... it's right behind me. It's gonna catch me. This thing is fast. And it is relentless. Just give me a place that I can hide. I'm going in circles. This is not a good place. Okay. I forgot that you can't actually look at the recipes now. And I'm lost. I have no idea where I am. Okay, that's the way to the attic. I don't want to go up there just yet. The fuck? Oh, it's a lamp. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm back where I was. Too scared to talk. Bloody hell. Anyway, what do I have now? Cool. Okay, let's carry on. The fuck? What the fuck? Okay, give me this. That's a recipe. Okay, I can't see anything. How close is this thing? Let me see. It is really close. Okay. I think that's what this thing does. I'm not entirely sure. It's a bit confusing. But I think that's what it does. It tells you how close it is. You know, even though this is about moths, it's still like giving me the creeps. Because it's a giant ass moth that chases you, dude. Like, where have you ever heard that in a horror game, bro? Like, so bizarre. I still think it's great though. Very, very nice concept. Okay. Just relight this thing. It's very close. What the fuck? Okay. Holy shit. It is very close. Alright, I'm gonna read this thing. Hi Paul, it turns out the lingua moth has many abilities besides speaking human language. They're capable of... So I have to report that I'm not sure I'll be back from there. But in the name of science, I have to check it out. I grow new types of moths in the basement. I hope that while I'm away, the house will not rot from a large number of different moths. Just in case, I'll block the entrance. If something happens, then I left the key in the attic in library. Alright? So that is telling us... So the only important part about this note is the location of the key. Okay? So I'll show you how to get the key, but I won't use it now. I'll still show you how to get it. Okay? But anyway, so yeah, the lingua moth is an interesting thing. We will find a note that tells us more about it a bit later on. Alright, let's just grab this. This is going up to the attic. This isn't where I want to go just yet, but doesn't really matter. On my previous playthroughs of this, the moth that chases you has always been up here, like all the time, so I don't really get many chances to come up here. Oh shit, can't see anything. Come here. Alright. Okay, now I believe... Yeah, so the IO moth was one that I was having trouble with. Was that... Oh no, okay. So this should be a recipe. Yeah. I'm hearing shit. Okay. I'm too scared to even speak, like in case I don't hear properly. Okay. I think that was... No, okay, never mind. Yeah, I find that the what's it? The rosy maple moth is also quite difficult to find. Yeah. So we've got every single one except the rosy maple moth and the white witch moth. Okay, I think that's all we need right now. There's a note I want to find about the scientist who discovered lingua moths. I want to find that and read it for you guys. and one about some other moths as well. But I think I've gone about this whole thing asked about face, so not how I usually do it. But you know, ooh, wait, recipe. Can't believe I almost missed that. Okay. Alright. So right there, this here is, I guess, the last area you visit. This is the place where the white witch moth will be found, okay? There's only a place where you'll find them, and these are the white witch moths right here. There's the only place you'll find them. Believe me, I've looked everywhere. This is the only place you'll find them. I think I've collected all of them. So there's 20 in total. Now I just need the rosy maple moth, and I have a feeling I know where they are. So here's a key. So the key to that door where the Moth King will be over here, so pick it up. And then have a read of this. Here we go. So Mason Hart, the famous moth collector, has won the Nobel Prize in Biology for his discovery of the lingo moth, a new species of moth that can speak human language. That's... okay, whatever. The lingo moth's ability to communicate in English has revolutionized the field of biology and opened up new possibilities for communication with other species. Mr. Hart's dedication and passion for moth collecting and research have resulted in this groundbreaking discovery, and his work has been recognized as one of the most significant contributions to biology in recent history. Interesting. So you can go down each of these aisles. There's nothing to collect, so don't worry about going down there. Okay. I hear it. Okay. Is that it? Okay, cool. I've got every single one. Do I? Yeah, I do. Cool. So now I can leave, but I still want to find the last note that I was talking about. Okay, so I've been here. This is where library. Okay, cool. Been here. So I can leave. Oh yeah, I don't know if running has any bearing on if the moth can hear you or not. I don't think it does. Big ass moth. Look at that thing. That thing is gigantic. Oh, here's another recipe, by the way. Fuck. Like, I've never seen moths this big. I've seen some pretty huge moths, especially when I was younger. I used to love crawling around in bushes and shit, and playing outside at night, and then would find moths, massive like owl moths, but never ones that were like the same size as my head. Bloody hell. Okay, I think we're good to go. Do not be down here. What am I doing? I don't need to do this anymore. Yeah, I don't need to. Can leave, so fuck this. Please do not be here. I want to find that note. Where is it? Here we go. The Death's Head hawk moth is a large and distinctive moth that is found in various parts of the world, including Europe, Asia, and Africa. Sometimes the commas look like full stops and the full stops look like commas. I don't know. It gets its name from the skull-shaped pattern on its thorax, which resembles a human skull, and has long been associated with death and the supernatural. That's actually pretty interesting. This moth has a wingspan of up to 13 centimeters and is primarily brown in color with yellow or orange stripes on its abdomen. Is this a real moth? I doubt that it is, but if it is, that's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, now there was one other that I wanted to find where it spoke about something else, unless I found it already. But I'm pretty sure I haven't. I think it's... Okay, no. In a truly astonishing discovery, Mason Hart, the well-known moth collector, has discovered a new species of moth that can speak human language. It should be the human language. Or a human language. Mr. Hart, who has been collecting and studying moths for many years, made the discovery while on a collecting trip in the Amazon rainforest. The moth, which has a unique wing pattern and body structure, was observed by Mr. Hart communicating in English. This incredible discovery has sent shockwaves through the scientific community and has opened up new possibilities for communication with other species. Mr. Hart has named the new species lingual moth and has pledged to continue studying and protecting this remarkable insect. So, this is a very cool concept for a horror game, Very, very, very good. Alright, now, was it this way? I'm lost, dude. I'm trying to find where that bloody note was, and I'm going in circles here. Yeah. Okay. No, I read that already. Where is it? Okay, nope, not here. Nope. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's this one, yeah. The Creatinatous gangus moth is a species of moth found in Southeast Asia, Australia, and parts of Africa. It is known for its distinctive appearance with brightly colored hind wings that are covered in ions. Oh, long. Fuck, I thought that it was IONS. It says long. Covered in long, fluffy hair-like structures called coromata. I did biology in school. I can't pronounce any of these. Well, then again, we didn't study moths. We studied, anatomy and shit. And, plants and everything. I don't remember a single thing from it, but I did that. Anyway, the coromata are used by male moths to release pheromones that attract females for mating. The moth is also notable for its ability to vary the size and shape of its coromata in response to environmental and social factors, which may play a role in mate selection and competition. Interesting. So there we go. That's what I wanted to show you, and I think I am good to go. Yeah, unless I've read that already, in which case I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I haven't, because I don't remember that. Anyway, let's go. So that's where we need to go, as you can see. So I don't think the moth can get us anymore. I've never had it where I've been caught here, ever, so I think you're good. Anyway, so before I get the ending quickly, I just want to show you what the recipes do, okay? So you come back to this stove here, this pot, you click on it, and it gives you a whole bunch of recipes, okay? So this is the first one we collected, and you can scroll through all of them, and they all choose, have differing amounts of moths to use to create the soup, okay? That's what this is, by the way. You use these recipes to create moth soup. Yeah, it's a bit weird, I know. But the only ones that I ever use are this one and this one. Okay? The other ones, in my opinion, are pretty useless. You could use them for, just being different, but I never use them. I mainly just use this one for one of the endings, and this one for the other ending. Okay? So that's what they do. And once you cook let me just cook this one. You can take. Okay, you can also put it back on the stove. Why can I put it back on the stove? Okay. Alright, so okay, it's better if I just explain it now. So the reason why I can't put this back on now is because it's full. Okay, once you have it, you have it. And what you need to do with this is you need to take it this way to the Moth King, which I'm not going to do now, but you open up this door and then you present your offering to the Moth King. Okay. And then once it's empty, you then run back here and put it on the stove, make another soup, and rinse and repeat, and so on and so forth, until the Moth King has been satiated. Anyway, I'm not going to do it now because I'm not going to get the ending just yet. So for now, all we need to do is just go back. That's the basement. We don't need to go there. Let's just traverse back. I just want to make sure I have every moth. Yeah, I do. Let us continue toward the front door. And here we go. We will get the first ending. So there we go. Moth House, a game by Kenforest. Okay. Yeah, so that was the first ending, okay? Basically we did exactly what our what our father asked us to, and we released the moths. Again, you don't gotta collect every single moth, just collect the ones on the list. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. The art style of that, where it's just like still images of like hands and stuff, I really, really like that. It's an interesting design choice for horror games. I wish a lot more indie games use that sort of thing. I really dig that, you know, that art style. It's very interesting, very, very cool, you know. Very, very, very nice indeed. It's, again, it reminds me a lot of Detention. So I really wish more games, or more horror games in particular, would use that that art style, or this art style here. Very, very cool. Anyways, so that was the first ending. I'll cut to when I show you the second and third endings. I'm dead. Recipe there, okay. I don't think I've gone down here. Yeah, I haven't been down here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I haven't gone down here, like, at all. So I'm lost. Nah, I know where I am. It's cool, though. This is interesting, though. I have never been down here. Maybe I have been once. Interesting. It's gonna catch me. I'm so dead. Please, no, go away. Are we just gonna loop like this forever now? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. Brother. Oh, I'm dead. Hi, dude. Okay, then. Yes! Fuck. Yes, sir. Oh, my goeie donder. Fucking hell. Where'd he even come from? Bro! What the fuck? Brother. Ah, fuck off, man. Come on. Fucking click that shit! Oh, for fuck's sake. Bloody hell, man. This is irritating me now. Bloody hell, dude. Alright, so I'm back, guys. And I'm here now in the attic library. Pick this shit up. Now, I haven't gotten all the moths yet. There's still the rosy maple moth that I'm looking for. But my goodness, I have been caught by that moth a ridiculous number of times now. No idea how many times, but bloody hell, has it been... It's probably the most amount of times I've been caught by this thing. Because, you know, whenever he's caught me, I've always just, like, ran up here. And he always seems to be up here, the prick. Bloody hell, but where are these damn moths? I've gotten every single one. Now the rosy one is giving me shit. Don't be up here. I'll be pissed off. Please be here. Please be here. Please be here. Oh my goodness, bro. I swear if he catches me, bro. Okay, cool. I found 2. Can I find more? Fucking, can I get more, please? Okay, I got 6. I think I have more than enough now to sort out the ending. Yeah, I've got all of them. Yep. Cool. Now we can leave. I can go away. Can never be too careful. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just gonna take it slowly because I have a habit now of sprinting to get back to where I was. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. Okay. Please. Please, bro. Brother. How fast are you, dude? You're never normally this quick. Fucking go, 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 go. Yeah, try me, you piece of shit. You can't come through here, so don't worry. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Okay. So we've got a lot. I actually hope I've collected that recipe. Okay, cool, I have. Cool. Alright, I'm sweet, I'm sorted. Let's go now over here. And open. Have a look at this. I'm stuck. Look at this thing. Why am I stuck? I can't move. There we go. Alright, so this massive thing over here is the Moth King. This glowing moth over here is the lingual moth. Hello human, I am the Moth King's helper. You see, the king can't speak like a human, unlike me. I know the human language, and I can also translate from the language of moths. Our master disappeared from this house, and the Moth King is hungry. He was already tired of eating little moths flying by past him. Once he even almost ate me. The king needs to be fed urgently and with normal food. He needs soup, moth soup. There are many types of moths, and if you mix them properly, you'll make a great soup. Please make soup and feed the Moth King. Now, this is why I was worried about that one recipe that I needed to find, and also why during the last 2 endings, I try to make sure that I have quite a lot of moths in my inventory. So, make this one, take it, bring it to him. Okay, you need to make good soups for this ending, otherwise if you don't, you are fucked. Thanks, but 1 pot of soup isn't enough for a king, make more soup. Also, I don't know if the king liked this soup, so it's better what? Hang on. So it's better will be if you make soup from other ingredients. Okay. So I'm going to try and try some other recipes as well. Okay, I don't have enough ingredients for that. I'm not going to give him that one because that one is shite. Alright, I'm going to try this one again, please. Don't be bad. King has not eaten for a long time. Soup's not enough for him. Yep. So make another batch of soup. I think you'll have enough. Okay. Alright, so I think we're good. I want to... Please... See, it's kind of confusing because of what he said there. Alright. Thank you so much for feeding the Moth King. He really liked your soups. There we go. So he has power. Sorry. So he has powers, and we can finally leave this old house and find yourself another place where there is normal food. Okay. Dialogue's a bit fucked in this. I don't know what's going on. I was glad to meet you, but we have to go. Goodbye. Cool. So here we go. Here's the second ending. So there we go. That there is the second ending. Okay. Again, I really like the art style. It's amazing. But I will cut to when I get to the third ending. Alright guys, so I'm back here again. Here with the key, pick it up. And I've gotten all of them. Now, I didn't worry about getting as many of the unique ones as I did last time. I mainly worried about getting the more common ones because I think they're the ones that we've been needing mostly. So, I don't care about getting anything else. Okay, let me just grab a few more. Just in case. If I die, it doesn't really matter because I spawn basically where I need to be in any case, so it doesn't matter. Okay, now that recipe I want to take just in case, even though I'm pretty sure I have the one that I need. Because for this, I only really need one recipe for this ending. It's the first one that you find, basically, so doesn't matter too much. So if I get caught now, it really doesn't matter. Because, actually, it's better if I do. So if I do... So whether I do get caught or don't, it doesn't matter, because I'll end up in exactly the same place I need to be, so... It's whatever. Okay. So just grab this one. And I think I'm good to go. I'm gonna ignore all these moths because I have plenty. I think it's chasing me. And I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay, recipe, give me that. Just in case, okay. Grab these. Alrighty. I think I'm good on everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm good. You know, I don't want to be too careful because the recipe that I'm gonna use uses fewer species but a bit more moths, I think, so I want to be a bit more careful. Alright, I think I'm good. Yeah. Cool. Let's go ahead and do this. Just relap my match quickly. And open up this door. And I'm stuck here again. This thing looks like a giant mosquito, actually, instead of a giant moth, because it's got this gigantic proboscis, or gigantic fly, actually. Look at that thing. Too close for comfort. Thank you. Yep. Seen this already. Yep. Yep. Alright, so this is the moment now where I'm actually sort of hoping that I have the right recipe. Because you can't actually look at them. I don't think you can look at them unless you're here. Please tell me I have the right one. Okay, cool, I do. So, this is the one here that you need to use. So I'm going to cook this, take it. Because the first one that you get is the shittest one. So you need to give him the shittest one for the last ending. That is terrifying. Like in the distance, that looks horrific. Okay. Thanks, one pot of soup. Yep. Also, I don't know if the king liked the soup, so it's better if you... Yep. Cool. Let's go ahead and make another bowl of soup. Cook. Take. Yep. Cool. And the last one. Now here, the dialogue that you get here should tell you if you're getting the last ending. We're terrible. Yeah, there we go. So thank you for feeding the Moth King. However, he says that your soups were terrible and he would have been better off starving. Okay. So, when he says this ungrateful line, that means you're going to get the last ending. I don't want to do this, but I have to follow the king's orders. The Moth King says you killed moths for nothing to make those awful soups. He wants to drive you to Moth Hell. Interesting. Moth Hell is a terrible place for moths, but not only moths get there, but people too. Why are they using two buts here? But not only for moths, but people get there too. You can just say people too, you know, you've got to add but there. My goodness. Anyway, for example, our owner got there. I wonder if, this feels like it's a bit strangely translated. I imagine that, I don't know. Okay, I'm not criticizing it too hard here. You know, this is an indie game, you know. I love it. It's awesome. But just some of these. Well, I have deja vu. Oh fuck, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, that was really weird. I just got a massive case of deja vu right now. Anyway, sorry about that. So, I'm not gonna critique this game too hard. I really like this game. It's a good concept, but I feel like the dialogue and some of the, well, not really dialogue per se, but some of the text and spelling and grammar and stuff needs to be touched up on. Unless the people who made this, maybe their first language wasn't English, so that I can excuse. But your first language is English, and you got some spelling mistakes, and they need to be fixed. But since it's an indie game, I can let it slide. You know, it's not that big a deal, you know. Anyway, for example, our owner got there. On this, we will have to part. I'm sorry, but there is no choice, so goodbye. Cool. So this here, okay, so you can't run away, so this is going to happen. So this here will lead to the third ending. So there we go. So I gather from the end of that, I think we turned into a moth. You know, a theory that I just came up with now is maybe we are the moth that's chasing us. I have no idea, because that's what it looked like. You know, the giant body and everything, giant wings. So maybe we are the same moth that's chasing us throughout the game. I don't know. It's all mysterious. Anyway, so that's that for Moth House. Pretty interesting indie horror game. I do think it's got potential. It's a very short idea here, but I feel like if the developers worked on a more in-depth story and more horrific story with regards to this kind of moth idea, I do think it could be made into a very creepy horror game. Because I mean, Mothman was a thing. The Mothman is a creepypasta that was around years ago. So with that, and the whole Moth King and everything, and the lingual moth idea, I think it's a very, 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 very smart idea. So it's got potential, this idea. So I think that if the developers really flesh the story out into a full-blown horror game, It could be something awesome. Unless that's just me and I'm crazy. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, guys, that's that for Moth House. So I'll leave it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.